awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's all the stones.
Oh my God.
Well, hey folks, my name is Brad. If you happen to be new to my videos, I explore the mountains of Vermont searching for treasure with my metal detector. And today I was once again invited by my friend Rebecca to some of her family's land. And it is currently already noontime because we spent the first half of the day hiking up the side of a mountain to where we knew an old cellar hole was. Unfortunately, once we arrived, the entire area was totally engulfed in underbrush and rose bushes, and we were not able to find even one single treasure. So we hiked back out of the mountains, and now we find ourselves in this field. Now, last year, I walked through this field with my metal detector on and just randomly found a couple old buttons and other old treasures. So we're back once again today to hopefully find a few more cool old things. Now, if this happens to be one of the first of my videos that you've seen, I publish one of these every single Friday. So if you like what you see here today, consider hitting that subscribe button or just come on back next week. We're gonna get the metal detectors turned on and see what we can find.
Like a rock thing. Interesting.
I found a point.
All right, I've got a beautiful target right here. It's an 89. Maybe it's another spike. 90. Little silver coin.
Really?
Yeah.
A silver coin.
Well, I believe this is the third time Rebecca and I have metal detected this general area. Never this field, but the house and some of the surrounding areas. And we did find one colonial coin and one Canadian bank token, but no silver coins here until now. What we have here is a silver dime. I can tell from the back already that it is going to be a mercury dime. Looks like the date is 1941. We're not really sure what was going on in this particular part of this field. As I probably mentioned before, I kind of walked through here on the way to somewhere else and I found a couple buttons, and I have had this spot in my mind to come back to, and it is a great sign that almost right away we're finding a silver coin. Generally, silver coins, at least in Vermont, don't develop a whole lot of tarnish. This one, unfortunately, seems like it may have. Down in the recesses, it seems to be quite brown, and it is not cleaning up as I spray it. And I have to assume that has a lot to do with fertilizer in this particular field. Great find, a little silver dime. Great start to the day. Again, not really sure what was going on here, but hopefully they lost a few more things for us to find.
90. Beautiful target.
Oh, another piece of it.
Oh, it's lamp, I think. Piece of a lamp.
Yep.
It's very solid though.
Well, one of the reasons we chose to metal detect in this very particular spot, last year I just kind of walked through this field on my way to somewhere else, and I found a couple buttons and a whole bunch of whatever the heck this thing is. At the time when I was finding them, I thought maybe they were pieces of lamp, but typically pieces of lamp are a very thin pressed brass material. This thing is extremely heavy for its size. It is also made out of brass or bronze. I'm now leaning towards it not. So this is going to be our mystery find of the day. Let me know if you have any ideas or if you may happen to know for sure what this went to. Many of the other pieces like this that I have found are very, very similar but different sizes. I am stumped. All I know is they always sound like a silver dollar. And my heart starts pounding, I get excited, and it is yet another one of whatever the heck these things are. But maybe one of you knows what it is, and you'll let me know that it is, in fact, something truly incredible. Let me know if that's the case. Pretty sure it's not a piece of a lamp, but as far as what it is, it's a mystery.
72. Oh my gosh, it's an old coin.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the coins are getting older in this little mystery spot that we've discovered, and I can tell just by feeling this in my hands that it is an older version of an Indian head cent. There were just a few years when they first started making these where they were considerably thicker than 1 cent coins we have now are, and you can feel it in your hand. For some reason, the places I metal detect, whenever I find these thicker Indian head cents, they're always in very poor condition. This one though, it does have some verdigris on there, but we can make out that date, I believe, 1864. And how interesting we find a Civil War era Indian head cent in the same place we found a World War II era mercury dime. I'm not sure there's necessarily anything significant about that, but the two coins we found were both during wars that the United States were involved in. The home that is adjacent to this field was built in the 1700s, so I'm always hoping whenever I hear one of those high tones, we're going to be finding a colonial coin or even some colonial silver, but I'll take an 1860s Indian head cent any day. Awesome, awesome find, and in reasonably good shape too. Don't typically find them like this.
This is a pretty quiet, which means probably deep, 82. It's a button. Ooh, looks like it might have something on it. It does. It's a flower of some kind. Did I hear you say, huh? Well, I've got something I was hoping you knew what it was. You first.
So, first I found that. And then in the same hole, that.
Looks like it goes like this, right?
Sure does.
I don't.
You don't know.
I don't.
I can't believe it.
Looks like there was wood inside also. I don't have any idea.
Isn't that strange?
If anybody knows.
Yeah.
So that's my little
Oh.
button I found.
That looks
Can
like
you?
a fleur-de-lis, but not really.
Your find is cooler, I think. I don't know what it is. It seems like it was probably decorative, just like a decorative appointment on the end of maybe a piece of furniture, top of a chair. You know, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Treasure. Looks like we have a 83. Sounds pretty good. The heck is this thing? I don't know. Like a puffball mushroom or something? I think so. Yeah. It's one of these. Ooh. Whoa.
Well, this little treasure that I just found is actually a fairly common find for farms from the early 1900s, 1800s, and the 1700s. Although, that being said, they very rarely come out of the ground looking like this. As we look at the front, we can see there's this beautiful silver plate. We have a little design around the outside, and looking at the back, we can see that there were 2 posts to hold this to the side of a horse's bridle. We call these bridle rosettes, and 99% of the time when these are found, they are just smooth brass discs. I'm not sure this would have necessarily cost a ton more money than those very boring brass disc rosettes we typically find, but it certainly would have cost a little bit more. And so I suspect they would have been pretty upset when they got their horse back in the barn and noticed that one of their rosettes was missing. I always love it when we find these really common items, but they are unique in some way. I don't think I've ever seen a rosette quite like this one. So for me, this is an awesome find.
I have got a wonderful target right here. 88. I see it. It's silver.
No way!
It's older.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I saw the back of this silver coin, I knew we had something special. This is a dime, and on the back we can see that it says 1 dime, and it's surrounded by these wreaths, but I know that there are 2 variations of US dimes that have this design on the back, and one of them could be substantially older than the other.
It's either going to be a bust of Liberty.
What do we want?
We want a lady sitting in a chair.
Okay.
I don't think it is. It is.
No way!
It is, in fact, the seated Liberty design, which is the older of the 2 designs, the other, of course, being the Barber design. As we take a closer look, we can see that the date is 1891. As I said before, this is our 3rd trip here, never a silver coin. Now we have 2, one of them being a seated Liberty design. Can't believe it. This one, while it does not have tarnish like the Mercury dime had that we found earlier, it does seem like it was probably in circulation for quite a while, as many of the details on Liberty herself and on the back are gone now. It really makes me wonder what the heck was happening right here for folks to be losing all these coins and buttons and lamp parts. Truly a strange little hotspot. Rebecca has been calling it the little Bermuda Triangle here, where things have gone to be lost.
This is an incredible 94. This is like dream target. This could be anything. Let's see. Big hole. Not a coin.
It's another.
It's another one of them. What the heck? The plot thickens. This is the stuff we were finding here last time. Because that was like lamp pieces, right? Mm-hmm. But it's very heavy. 83. Oh, nice.
Well, I'm sure some of you probably recognize this little treasure I just found. It's very hard to tell exactly how old this pipe stem is. It does very clearly have this shiny black plastic, but as soon as plastic was invented, or the predecessors to plastic, things like Bakelite, they started making things like pipe stems out of them. So this could very well be maybe 100 years old, maybe a little bit older. The plastic or acrylic or variation of whatever this might be obviously does not get picked up by the metal detector. This other large piece seems to be, I don't think it's brass, it's probably a pot metal, but you can see that there was probably a little ring here that had the brand name on it. Not really an uncommon find. I found quite a few of these over the years. You can imagine the farmers out here 50, 100, 150 years ago puffing on their pipes, taking a break. Always a surprise when you see that shiny black shining back at you in the hole when you find one of these old pipe stems. Pretty cool find. Not a treasure, I don't think, but there still might be some out here somewhere.
All right, let's see. 91.
Ah!
Boo!
Is it a weight?
No, it's hollow. It's probably something for
Is it brass?
horse. Yeah, the end of like a shaft, the top of a hame or something. My guess.
But it's old.
It is old.
You said boo like it was a bullet.
I thought it was going to be a coin. I was confident it was going to be a coin. That's cool. GoPro, stop record. GoPro, stop record. Really nice sounding, clean 90. Great target. What is that? What is that? Wow.
What do you have? What is?
So typically the places that I spend the most time metal detecting are old, poor farms way up in the mountains from the 1700s and the 1800s. And so finding jewelry is incredibly rare for me. Very occasionally I'll find solid brass wedding bands that would have been gold plated at the time because the farmers didn't have the money to buy gold wedding bands. This incredible little thing I just found, I do not believe to be a modern ring. This feels old to me. Not just the design of these stones or the filigree all over it, but there are no stamps as far as I can see. As we look at the band here, it does seem to be plated. We can see some red shining through of some kind of copper alloy. That being said, the plating itself seems somewhat old and tarnished. If I had to guess, I would say this is more than likely from, if not the very early 1900s, we might be getting back into the late 1800s. This was at one time a poor farm. It would make sense that they would have had plated jewelry back then, and this one is a stunner. Maybe somebody out there that has a better knowledge of stones than I can tell us what these are. They have a really interesting shimmer and color play on the inside of them. On one of the previous trips here, we actually did find one of those brass wedding bands and a much more modern silver class ring. But for me, this one is the best of the three because it is, I'm fairly confident, old, and the stones and the beautiful design on there. This is by far my favorite. Beautiful. All right, folks, well, it is the end of the day, and we really made up for lost time spending really the first half of the day trudging through the woods and not finding anything. As we were metal detecting in this little field, I was dropping little orange flags, and we ended up with this little triangle of a hot spot, and Rebecca ended up calling it our little Bermuda Triangle of lost things, and we really made a day of it in this very tiny little spot, finding a whole bunch of old buttons, 3 coins, the oldest one being the 1864 Indian head cent, but also, of course, 2 silver coins. We have the Mercury dime and, of course, the seated Liberty dime. To go along with, I think, my favorite find of the day, the silver plated ring. Absolutely awesome find. Thank you, Rebecca, once again for the invitation. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed filming it. Hopefully you'll join me next week for another new adventure searching for treasure.